Our biggest ministry that we have as an organization is our disability ministry. The biggest part of that disability ministry is wheelchairs. There's no safety nets like there is in the U.S. If you have a disability, you have nothing a lot of the time. There are many reasons why somebody is disabled in Guatemala. A big one is healthcare. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of good healthcare. Workplace safety is another big one that leads to a lot of disability. There's a lot of accidents. A lot of disability on the pediatric side is there's not a lot of prenatal healthcare.
And a lot of children that are just born in homes, and so they have complications during the birth, and there's nothing they can do about it.
All of these things compiled together make it that we have a very, very large population that live with a disability in Guatemala. There is such a huge need that we give a couple thousand wheelchairs a year. Most of our wheelchairs come from the U.S. It's just wheelchairs that are not being used anymore. We have people throughout the U.S. that collect wheelchairs for us. When they get a load, which is usually about 150 wheelchairs, they reach out to us and we send a container to where those wheelchairs are being stored. We load them up and they get shipped to Guatemala. That is how we get our wheelchairs for the most part.
And most of these are done through Mission Mobility. That's the organization that is collecting wheelchairs and shipping them to us in Guatemala.
Once they get to the country, they get unloaded at our warehouse and they're used wheelchairs. We can't give out a wheelchair in the state they're in, right? So we have several folks that work for us in the ministry who are top to bottom completely stripping it and rebuilding the wheelchair. Replacing any parts that needs to be replaced, repainting, making sure everything is proper and running, and making the wheelchair as new as we could possibly make it. Once that process is done, it gets taken out with the team to be given. A lot of folks that are receiving a wheelchair will have waited for a chair for at least a year from us. So we tell them the date and the time, show up, you're gonna get your wheelchair. The day of the distribution, we come, we unload these chairs at our site, we have them organized there. We split the team into a few groups and we start calling the people up. And it's a process. We find the chair that is best fitting for them and make the adjustments to the chair that needs to be done so that they are properly fitted into a wheelchair. Maybe they need crutches and a walker and a cane as well because they get around some. They get that as well. Once that process is done and they're properly fitted in a wheelchair, they go over to the next station and that is where they hear the gospel message. We bring in the local church to help us out and we have a moment of prayer. They get given a Bible, they get encouraged, and then they leave. These people have been waiting for a year, but that's not to say that there aren't people that show up because they heard we were giving wheelchairs. And it's funny how this works. It's a God thing. Every distribution, every person is served. I have never once not been able to give a wheelchair for somebody that needed one. Never once. Even days where we looked at the crowd and said, there's 10 people here that I don't have 10 wheelchairs for, and the next thing I know, there's 15 wheelchairs there sitting waiting. And they go out with newfound mobility with freedom. Freedom to go out and do your own thing, find a job, or go to church. If you're a child and you're getting fitted into a pediatric wheelchair, it's freedom for the parents and siblings to not have to carry them on their back everywhere they go or just be laying in bed. A lot of these folks, they're quite often isolated. They haven't been able to get around. They didn't have a wheelchair. And so every year Bethel has a camp for people with disabilities. It is just a place where these folks can come. They can have community. We have lots of fun with them. They get to have fellowship and encouragement and just a place where they can be and come out of there refreshed for the year.
A goal that we have for Camp 2 is to help our campers to reconnect with God and give them the tools that they need to be able to maintain that relationship and pursue that relationship with God throughout the rest of the year so that it's not just the one-time mountaintop experience.
Another thing we do at camp is we repair their wheelchairs. A lot of repairs are needed, and that's not only something we do at camp, it's also something that we do at our shop as well throughout the year. When we give a wheelchair, it's not a one and done. This is the start of our relationship. If you need anything, please reach out to us. We can repair the wheelchair, we can swap it out. If the child is grown, we can give them a new wheelchair, grow it, whatever it needs to be, and keep those relationships throughout the year.